Hi guys, and welcome to Draw My Aquarium Nails. This is my first little spin-off of my regular Draw My Nails series. I always get so many aquarium nails submitted, I figure why not just do a whole Draw My Nails dedicated to aquarium nails? And let me tell you, you guys came through with the designs. I want to start doing more like themed or dedicated style renditions of Draw My Nail, so if you have any suggestions for those, please let me know down below. Of course, all the designs you guys will be seeing here today are drawn by you guys, and they are credited either with their name, @ or anonymous. Whenever I put out the little submission page for Draw My Nails, I usually put it on my community tab and on Instagram on my stories. So if you want to participate next time, that's where they'll be. Now, I actually didn't get a ton of submissions for this video, which I was a little surprised about, but it's totally okay. No one has to submit a design, but I very much appreciate when you do. But the designs that were submitted were amazing. All of them were like top tier. I am going to do a couple honorable mentions, but there are a couple that I am not going to show because I want to do them as like little Instagram videos or something like that, because they are such cool designs and unfortunately I just cannot fit them all in this video. That being said, I have a couple honorable mentions. This sunflower design by Violet, such a cute idea to make the petals look like they're like falling off. I love that. This UFO design by Mags. I love the little cow. I think that is so cute, especially then topped with the UFO. And it's like such a good complete design. I feel like it like tells a little story. This fall fire night scene from Chaos Manager X4. They said it would be like an ombre fire at the bottom with little embers like flying into the air. I love the idea of using like the aquarium part to like show movement to the design. And this koi fish design by Kaylee Washington. A little koi pond is such a good idea for an aquarium nail. I think this would be absolutely adorable. And that will be all for the honorable mentions. Remember to check my Instagram or TikTok or something like that for some more later this month or maybe next month. Whenever I have time, I'm gonna do them. Or you know what, I'll post them as little shorts on here or something. I forget you can do that. Our first design today is something that called to me and I knew I was going to do it as soon as I saw it. It is this Sonic Marble Zone nail. And I don't think I've ever really talked about my love for Sonic on the internet, but I love Sonic. And this is such a good idea to do for a nail. So this design is super exciting. So let's get into that. So I will be making some of our aquarium tips, but for this one and a couple others, I'm going to be using these pre-done aqua tips from Sydney 3. If I was a good planner, I would have ordered a couple other of the shapes and sizes that she carries, but I'm not, so we gotta make some today too, which is totally fine. Although I also have gone ahead and pre-buffed the inside of these because it does need some pretty intense filing on the inside and washing out with alcohol, and I did that all before because it is quite a tedious and long process that no one wants to watch. So recently I've taken up making some of my own charms using Fimo clay. Essentially it's an oven baked clay, and the Fimo brand specifically stays a little bit flexible after you bake it, so it's not going to be like rock hard. So today I'm going to be making pretty much all of the charms and inserts myself. And I'm going to try using the Fimo clay. I know I already said this in my last video. Although I love the sculpting gels, sometimes I just want to touch it and mold it with my fingers, and you can't do that with gel. And I feel like it just makes it so much harder to get a good outcome for me. So right now I'm gonna make Sonic's rings. And I think this will be fairly easy to do. It's nice because this clay doesn't really get super stuck to a lot of things, so I'm able to just like roll it out and do pretty much all of my work on my glass. Although I do have a little silicone mat that I do also use whenever I do a lot of clay stuff. So to cut out the circles, I'm really just using random stuff around me that I feel like is the correct size. This is probably way more than I need. But that's okay. Then we just put them on our parchment paper. And now I'm going to make the fire inserts. I need a little bit of orange. And these are gonna have to be pretty small. Honestly, probably should be a little bit thinner. I'm just going to do the orange on this, and then afterwards I can paint it with some gel. And I'm just using all of my regular tools on this. All of my nail tools, because I feel like it all works. I also don't know if you are supposed to use like alcohol to help shape these, but I am using it and it's working very good. I don't know if that messes up like the durability or something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter for what I'm using it for. All right, so on to the parchment. this one goes, and let's go bake these. While that bakes, let's work on the rest of the nail. Let's start on the background. I'm going to mix up these purples from Nail Couture to make the background and the brick color. Ooh, this one's wonky. I think I'm also going to need to darken it up just a tiny bit. And of course, I'll be doing it on the back side here. And then also underneath. And definitely a second coat. Now for the top, I'm going to do the bricks now. And I'm going to start off with a base. Because of how 3D nails are printed, they can have a lot of like little itty bitty tiny ridges and stuff. So I just want to even all of that out. I know right here does not look clear, and that is because we have not put the oil in yet. That's just like how it looks after being etched and stuff on the inside. Give that a good wipe. And now we can start on the bricks, which I feel like should be fairly simple. I do not feel like it's something I've ever mentioned before, just because I don't really play it as much nowadays. But I absolutely love Sonic. It's pretty much the main game that I played in my childhood because I luckily had an actual Sega Genesis because my dad's always been a big gamer. So for many years, that was my game of choice. And it's probably one of the few games that I've actually played entirely through. I know that we had maybe 5 or 6 games. And again, I actually like made it my mission to play those all the way through. Unfortunately, I have not had that Genesis in a very long time, but I miss it so much. Thankfully, I was so happy when they finally came out with like classic Sonic on the Switch, and I played that through a couple times. I'm pretty sure that I could play through the first Green Hill Zone with my eyes closed. Not exaggerating whatsoever, I've probably played that level like 500 times. I've gone to a couple Comic Cons in my life, not any as of recently, but when I was younger, and pretty much the only time I ever dressed up was once, and I actually went as Amy Rose. I think I'm like 13 in this picture, 14 maybe. So before we do the outline of the bricks, I want to do the lava because I'm going to marble it for the lava effect. Definitely gonna need a couple coats of that. I'm literally sitting here staring at the drawing, wondering why it doesn't look quite right, and it's because the lava needs to go over here also. Then I'm gonna take my blooming gel, and I'm gonna put it only over the lava, or you know, the orange. Not quite lava yet. And I'm taking a super bright yellow just because the rings are super yellow, so I kind of want it all to match, you know? And this will be faded out a bit. I'm really happy with how that looks. It looks like lava to me. Now I'm just finishing up the outline, which is fairly easy, thankfully. And then I'm gonna go in and do Sonic. Again, thankfully, this is only like half of Sonic and it's the back part, which is the easy part. This is much easier to do than a whole teeny tiny character. Only got a little bit of his hair, an arm, and a shoe. We are pretty close to being able to fill in the tank with the rings, but we need to paint the fire pieces first because we need some of this yellow right here. Just a little bit on top, and I actually don't know if I want to like top coat these and the rings. Like, do they need it? Do I want them shiny? I don't know, especially since I put some gel on these fire pieces right here. I don't know if like some of it matte and some of it shiny would look weird. I've decided I'm going to top coat the fire but not the rings. I think that makes sense. And now finally, let's do the tank part. So now it's time to fill it. I'm so happy with how it looks. It's so cute. I really hope it looks nice and clear once we put everything in. I do have this little stand from Sydney33 also, which is really useful when filling these. So to not make things stuck at the bottom, we need to put in a little bit of oil first, and then we can put in our inserts. I don't know if all of this will fit, probably not. I'm gonna start with the smallest ring, and then this one's pretty thin also. And then a fire. That might be all we can put in. I don't know. Do I put another ring or another fire? Here's how that fits so far. The rings could have been smaller for sure. Put a little bit more oil in here and that might help us decide. Let's do the other fire. Okay, one more ring. Okay, I'm done. All right, so I'm gonna try to finish filling this up. Ooh, that is definitely too full. It's hard to tell how much to put in since I can't see it from right here. I think that's good. I'm gonna put the top on now, but I'm gonna clean it really good first. Make sure it's dry. Super carefully going to line this. Then I just have like a regular little sheet. And I like to make sure it is super extra secure. So I'm gonna just take some more glue and just put it around this edge just in case, you never know. Yay, we are all good. No leakage or anything. Look at that. So now I'm gonna clean this up just using my file. I found that most of the time the absolute best way to trim up these types of edges, like the top, or if you're getting really close to the edge after you put like the backing on, is to use a file. I don't know what it is, but a lot of the time whenever I use scissors, it just puts too much pressure on it and it just separates. So the file usually works best for me. It just have to go really fast. That way it can really cut through that gel without putting any pressure on it. Quickly, I'm going to paint the top of this, just the same color as the bricks. And finally, let's put on the top coat. I'm gonna use a thicker top coat today so I can make sure everything is nicely sealed up. The clarity of this looks so good. I spent a while doing the buffing on the inside, so I'm glad that paid off. And then also going to top coat this underneath part. And here we are. I absolutely love it. I know it's kind of hard to see Sonic, but he's over on the side. Such a cool idea. Doing this makes me want to replay the Switch version, so I might do that. But anyway, here's the drawing and result. There were actually a couple boba designs, which I love. I love that so many of you guys have like similar ideas. But the one I ended up going with is from Kendra, France. They said that they wanted the boba to also be like 3D on the outside too. And I think that's such a good little addition to the boba. And I mean, like, who doesn't love boba? So let's get into it. I have these long duct tips from eNail, so I'm gonna use these, but I do need to clean up the shape a little bit because we don't want it like flared, we just want it going straight. Much better, just a little flared. And then although we're doing this nail, I am going to also do another nail at this time, just the base of it, because I'm going to be doing the dash nails method. And I just want to make both of these at the same time since both of these nails are going to require this method. So this one will be our next nail after this one, but I'm just going to like make the aquarium part at the same time. So I'm just going to clean up the shape on this just a little so it's a little more pointed. So the curve on these duck nails is very shallow, so we're not going to have a lot of room to fill this. So I am going to modify like how we're going to put in the little boba balls a little, but we'll worry about that in a bit. I'm going to do the dash aquarium nail method using the Aqua Mix. I'm going to lay down a layer of this on a clear sheet of, you know, something. I'm trying to make it really even. I think I might actually need a little bit more since I'm going to do both of these at the same time. So I'm going to put my tip down, move it. This does have a little bit of like a curve to the nail too, so we'll have to go back and like fill the sides a bit and cure. Ooh, it got hot, so it like warped this a little bit. That's okay. But like I said, we're gonna have to like fill in gel on this side a little bit because it does have the curve aside from the plastic warping a little bit. And I'm gonna do the same on the stiletto just to be safe. Here again. I love peeling it off. I am going to try to cut these apart if I can. And then cut off big pieces, but not getting too close to the edge. And then now I'm gonna just file these down so that they look nice. Okay, so we are all ready to go now with this. I did test it out to just make sure the seal I put on the bottom is all good, and it is, so we can decorate now. Now they did say that I could change the flavor, but I like the brown sugar flavor for this. Although I should make the straw really quick before we do anything else, that way it can bake while we decorate the top. So doing a mix of the pink and white. I'm gonna try to make it lighter because sometimes the clay does darken depending on like which one it is in the oven. So I want to make sure that this is light going into the oven. Although these do take a long time to mix. The swirl looks pretty though, doesn't it? Okay, we're almost there. Just do a little cut, that. Let me go bake this really quick. Okay, so I'm having a little bit of a hard time deciding how I want to do this because the way they wanted me to do it is like the method where you put like a layer of acrylic or polygel down and then you put a whole tip on top so it's the whole nail. But that's not what I'm going to be doing because with a straw like sticking out of this, there's no way that's wearable. I think that I might paint. Well, you know what? There's nothing stopping me from like painting this too, actually. I'm so glad that I have these Nail by Dev liners because even though they're not like regular gels, I have these nude color ones now, which I'm so happy about because I always need them, never have them. I think this will be like the perfect base color for like a brown sugar boba. So I'm gonna paint the whole back side of this. Hopefully it doesn't look too wonky down by the seal, although I will be covering up a little bit of that area at least with some of the design. Hopefully it still looks all right. And a second layer so it's all opaque. All right, let's see how that looks. Okay, not too bad. It is a little foggy in this because I tested it, but that's okay. All right, so we can still see that a little bit, but since they did the brown sugar design, I'm gonna do that like marbling that you get from the tapioca balls being in there because I'm pretty sure those are soaked in like a brown sugar syrup. So usually it has like some fading upwards with the boba. So I'm gonna do that to the bottom of this. And then they said that at the bottom, there should be some 3D boba. So one's on top of the design. So hopefully we should be able to like cover up that weird space a little bit. I'm just grabbing like all of the colors from this collection because the bottles don't match exactly what is inside. They're close, but who knows what I'll need for this. I think I'm gonna take my marbling gel again and I'm gonna do this with the marble gel. I think that'll give us a pretty good fade. This is gonna go up kind of high because I do want it to kind of cover this transition spot a bit. It should definitely stay darker down at the bottom. Hopefully that spot won't be like as noticeable when we put the oil in. Okay, I think it looks really good. I got my sissy clay out because they said the boba's like 3D. I want to stick these directly on there. I got these like little individual finger gloves so it could hopefully be tighter on my finger, but still with the nail, I wonder if I can do like a tiny slit for this because I hate having to wear entire gloves with this because they never fit right. It's like a tiny hole. Okay, not too bad. These need to be teeny tiny. Okay, the gloves are still a little bit more wrinkly than I would like, but it's better than when I use like full gloves. Okay, that looks good, I think. It looks, does that look big? It does look a tiny bit big. That's better. Let's just start sticking these. All right, 3D boba complete. Now, I originally intended on putting little like actual balls in the nail, but look at how thin this area is. Like, there's no way. So I'm going to just do some circle black glitter and that's just gonna have to do. I really wish I could fit the balls in there, but they will not fit. So I'll just put a little here and we can just pick out. I would say these size ones to match these ones. Okay, that should be enough. Okay, let's put these in now. Oh, you know what? I remember we're supposed to put a little bit of oil so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. Okay, that should be enough in there. So we do have some oil and the other boba balls. I just took the straw out of the oven. Let's see if it fits. No way. Oh wait, is it gonna go? Oh no. Okay, I got it to fit, but that was a tight fit. Oh, look at how cute it is. Okay, I'm gonna try filling the rest of this in here now. I feel like that's a big air bubble. I don't think I'm going to be able to get any more oil in there. It's just like not wanting to cooperate. I think with just having such a like slim tank and then also the straw, it's just not going to be happening. So I'm going to seal it, and I'm going to use the Dash Nails glue for this top because this is so small. Okay, there it is. The two little air bubbles will not join, but that's fine. So cute. So now we're just going to do the top brown, and now lastly a top coat. So pretty. Oh, it looks so clear. It is so cute. Let's see the glitter in action. All right, it's slow, but it's moving. It is so cute. I'm not sure if I'm gonna say this person's right, so I apologize in advance, but their at is Arts Yoli. Again, not sure if that's right, but it is a Sailor Moon nail, and it is so pink and cute and like magical looking. Obviously, the star of the show of this is actually not the aquarium part, but it is the big moon wand on the front that I really wanted to make. So remember, we already have our tip. So let's start off with making the moon stick. I actually already have the moon part because I was just making stuff the other day, and I had a little bit of leftover yellow I wanted to use, and so I just made it really quick. That's a pretty simple part, but I'm really happy with how it came out. I feel like it's a pretty good crescent. I'm going to use some of this leftover clay from yesterday that I used to make the straw, but I'm going to darken it up a little bit. I'm going to use a little bit of thinner just to help it mix better. The darker pink color does look exactly like the color I need, but remember, it darkens whenever you bake it. This shade does at least, so I don't want it to be super dark once we bake it. There we go. Okay, trying to make it thinner here so it looks like that handle part. Okay, there we are. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good-ish, right? It might be a little too long. Then I'm just making a teeny tiny ball to put here so that we can like smush it down and it does that like circle thing. Okay, not bad. Not bad. I really haven't made anything with this many tiny details with the clay yet, so I feel like this is a pretty good test because we do have like quite a few things layered on each other. I think for like the little ball type crystals, I'm going to make those out of gel later just because I want that to be like translucent, and to my knowledge, I don't think there is a clear clay like this because it's, you know, clay. So I'm gonna just make this little bottom part. So I'm gonna get a nice circle going, and then I'm gonna cut it in half. I should get my X-Acto knife out for this type of thing. But I have my little half circle. Just get this little piece secured. And then I have to make like a super, super, super little thin rope to put on top of that. Oh, it looks so cute. And then I'm gonna do another little tiny ball to kind of like smush in here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with like the little like bow tie top wing looking things there. Those seem very tedious. Okay, now I'm gonna smash that in too. And then for all the balls, I'm not sure what I want to do because I could paint this and like everything else gold, or I could keep it yellow. I don't feel like gold would really go super well with like the type of style that I'm gonna do with it. I think I want to keep it more of like a 2D type of color looking style for the most part. So I think I might need to make these like literal like micro balls, or I'll have to see if I have like tiny little caviar beads to glue on after that are just yellow. I have one of these little things made. Okay, this is where I'm actually gonna go get a little X-Acto knife because I do feel like this is just a tiny bit too big, and if I try to use this tool, it's gonna smush. Okay, pretty good so far. Let's make the other side. I do have just yellow caviar beads, so I am going to make indents where they're going to go, but I'm not going to put them on yet because I don't know if you can bake these. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We'll glue them on afterwards. I just glued like a little caviar bead on top of this so I can just make the indents. One will go there. Ah! No, don't stay. It didn't glue. And one will go there. And then, of course, a couple right here, which I guess I'll just make these little dots with this. And pretty much lastly for this now, I'm gonna make this little crystal holder piece and connect the moon to the wand part with it. You can double bake the clay. You pretty much just only risk it darkening even more, but I don't think that'll be a big problem with this bright yellow. I'm going to try to attach these little pieces together. Then let's see if that'll work. Well, you know what? I think it will. Okay, these little wing parts do look a bit of a mess, but I might try to fix those up after I bake it with like my file or something, hoping that little bit will salvage it a little bit right here to just make it not look a mess. Again, the wings, I don't know. We'll do that after. Maybe I will use the sculpting gel afterwards on that part. I don't know. But that'll be a problem for me in like 30 minutes. So I'm gonna bake this while we fill up the nail. So they said the background could be either opaque or jelly, and they pictured tiny pieces of glitter with a couple stars to float around. So we can do that. I think that I'm just going to fill this and then seal it and then do the jelly color and any other color on the top, because I need to paint like this whole background. So I feel like that's kind of hard to do with this still like open here. I don't want to like overlap and have it be a dark spot here. Exciting. We don't usually start with filling these. Since they said tiny little glitter pieces, I'm gonna use this clear Galaxy Hollow, and this stuff is so cool. Let me get my flashlight on it. It is like literally clear when it has like a warm undertone, and it's almost transparent, but it's still hollow. I love it. The hollow aspect is kind of hard to see in this light because it is so tiny, but trust, they're hollow. Oh, you know what? We need to put our little bit of baby oil so that nothing just sticks terribly. Since this is like clear, I am going to put a bit more. There we go. And then I want to put this glitter also, just a little bit. These like UV blue clear flakes. I just think a little bit of this will add fun dimension. So that's all the small glitter I'm gonna put. They said a couple stars. I don't know. I have made a couple of these stars out of clay, but with the charm on the front being the same shade of the clay with a lot of yellow, I don't know how well these would be able to be seen. So I have these, and these ones are more like transparent. So I was thinking just 2 of these like transparent yellowish stars would be best. Maybe 1. I want this to really be able to move, so 1 for sure. And that's about how full that would be. I think that's all I'm going to do. These ones are so hard to fill with oil because we have to do it here, so I'm gonna push down as much of this glitter as I can and clean where the seal is going to be going. So I'm gonna do most of the seal before we put any oil in, so that way I only have to like patch up a tiny bit. I'm pretty sure Dash Nails does say to like drill a tiny hole after or something like that, but I don't want to do that. It didn't work out very well for me last time. I need to keep this here because I need both hands. I'm going to partially like cure this as soon as I put it down. I only have like a teeny tiny little bubble. Okay, I know the seal is thick, okay. It is what it is. Let's fill this up now though. Hopefully all goes well. It is just a tiny little bit. Let's clean it now. All right, let's clean everything. No. I'm gonna try to seal it now. For the back, I am going to do jelly. I'm going to use this jelly pink from Secret Nail Affair. I love this one. And we'll do this on the back. Isn't this so pretty? And I'm going to do that on this bottom part too. And we'll be done with the back, so I'm just going to top coat it while I have it this way. And now let's finish up the moon wand. It came out so good. So now we have to put the little caviar beads on there and make like a little crystal for right here. So to make the crystal, I'm going to use just like this stretchy little piece of string, some gel, and a flash cure lamp. And we're going to just start it off by getting a little dab here, like so. I'm going to hold it down and kind of like spin it so it becomes a ball, and then cure. And voila, we'll have a little ball, and I'll just do that until I'm happy with the size. I feel like we're starting to get there, probably only another couple layers. Now I'm going to just pull it, and we have our ball. All right, I'm going to just cut this a little bit off. Okay, so let's attach it now, and this one. And lastly, our little caviar beads. They're not quite as bright yellow as I would like, but I think it still looks good. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get any up at the top though. I also just realized this is supposed to be red. I am not thinking clearly because I took a little break and I went and got some laser tattoo removal. And if you've ever gotten laser tattoo removal, it is so painful. It's like one of the most painful things I've ever done in my life. I feel like it wipes my brain for the rest of the day. Thankfully, Secret Nail Affair just launched their winter jelly colors, and there is a perfect red in here. Now that that is done, we can get to the top now. We just have a tiny bit more to do. So of course this part does not look good, so we need to do something about that. So I'm gonna take an opaque pink and I'm gonna just ombre it down. I might get a little help from my blooming gel, just like the thinnest layer ever though, because I want to cover up most of this, so I don't want to thin it out too much. But I do want it to fade nicely. We're probably gonna need 2 coats on that. And finally, a top coat. This one I already know is gonna look amazing in the sun. And now we finally glue the charm on. And here it is. It is so beautiful. The star needs a little encouragement to move, but it does. For real, this one is so pretty. I like low-key want to frame it. The fourth design I chose actually did again have a couple people submit a similar design, but the one that I went with is from Two Sweets Nails, and it's a gumball machine with, you know, of course, like moving gumballs, and again, such a good idea. And I knew I had to do a gumball machine once I saw some of these designs because the top of it is so different, you know, it's not like a normal nail shape, I guess. I just thought that would be so fun to do and to like really switch it up. So let's get into it. Once again, I'm gonna start with a tip from Sydney33, but this one is pretty much just going to get completely cut off almost to the bottom, because what I really want is this like flat space down at the bottom so that we can put the top of the gumball. Since this is a whole circle and not like a half or anything like that, I need somewhere to sit it. So this will go on top of that and it should sit nicely. So yeah, we've got to pack this off. All right, that should fit now pretty perfectly. I actually think that the filled part on this nail is going to be the easiest since I already have that pre-made globe. So really right now we just need to focus on the bottom part of it. That would be the machine. So I'm putting a base coat down to level everything out. I'm actually gonna take the color we just used on the Sailor Moon nail and I'm gonna use it for the gumball machine also. It is such a pretty pink. This can totally be done just with like regular hand-drawn art, but I'm gonna add a little bit of 3D aspect to it. So I'm gonna be using my Trippy gel, which is the easiest to use in my opinion, like sculpting gel or clay gel, whatever you wanna call it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go for like the whole twist 3D aspect, but I at least wanna have the silver part like risen a little bit upwards. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of this. The stuff is so soft. Like look at how mushy it is. I need this to go in like a triangle kinda. I'm gonna try to cut a perfect rectangle and then just remove the rest of it. This might be a little tedious, that's okay. And then I just need to add the little door on the bottom where the gumball would come out, and I'll make a little indent there. I'm gonna try my best at doing a little handle because the stuff is so easy to work with. I think that I might be able to do it all right. And I mean, really it's just like a little, I don't know, something like that, but a little smaller. It's like a flat handle. So that is going to be it for the sculpting, but I'm really happy with it. And I'm really excited that I'm gonna get to use a bunch of the like mirror type gel. I love this gel, but usually it's only for accents. But I'm gonna paint all of this white with the metal looking paint. So pretty. Okay, are we ready? Ooh, pretty. It really does look like metal. I don't think I've ever used the mirror paint to like really make something look like metal. It's always just for, I don't know, like shiny accents. Now just for the details. So I'm gonna fill in this part with black. I'm gonna do some details in gray. I was gonna do black, but I feel like doing it in gray would just be, I guess, like more subtle, maybe a little more realistic, like it's more like a shadow or something. And of course we would need the little spot where you'd put your quarter. I will attempt the little 2-5, but I don't know about that. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, actually good news. I was able to do the 25. And then I want to keep the pink matte and of course the metal looking part shiny. So we've got the Nails by Dev matte top coat for this. Then a thin top coat for the metal part since it's already kind of thick there. I had to like smooth out everything and then re-put on the silver just because I felt like it looked too like crummy. There was way too much like, I don't know, chunks, like debris, pieces, I don't know, but it was looking not smooth whatsoever. Now we have to fill in the gumballs. This is just like a pre-made globe. I think it is glass. Then I've just been making these tiny little balls with like leftover clay when I've been doing it. So I have a bunch of them. Hopefully this is enough because if it's not, I might have to like start crawling on the floor to find ones I've dropped. Okay, I'm gonna just stick this here. Now I could just like pour them in, but I feel like it's gonna be a lot more satisfying to do it one by one. Okay, honestly that did not go as far as I thought it would. I thought that would fill this entire thing up. They did say to put water on the inside, but that's typically not a good idea. So we will stick to oil, although it would be fun to not even put anything in this. Like, listen, okay? Just have it be a shaker nail. Let me see if I can find any more on the floor. All right, I found 6 more. Okay, so I'm gonna put liquid. I would love to keep it a shaker nail, but they said liquid, so we do liquid. So I'm gonna put some oil in here and then clean up any oil. Let that dry. And now carefully put this gel here, just on the rim. And then for the top, I'm also going to put it all over it, even like on the center, just so we can make sure I don't want anything to spill. I also etched this little piece that I am putting on top so that it doesn't like peel off or anything. Since this is glass and it's really smooth, I didn't want to risk it like literally just like not even sticking. I also did file the glass bottom a little bit to avoid that same issue. I'm gonna get my flash cure lamp handy. Okay, are you guys ready? Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Okay, it's fine. Okay, I think it's sealed all the way. Look at how cool this is. So fun. Really quickly, I'm gonna file the excess off camera so I don't make any mistakes, and then we can finally attach it to the base. It is so perfect. Look at all that movement. Okay, let's attach now. I'm gonna just put this nice big glob of gem glue here. The gem glue I've been using is from Knot Polish and it has been working so well. I feel like I've had like only a couple rhinestones and no charms fall off since I've been using it, so I really like it. I feel like it's my favorite right now for sure. All right, now just gotta put it down. This might be a little overkill, but I am going to fill in this like last little space between the nail and the ball, just that way it's very secure. Oh my gosh, I am so proud of this. It is so cute and I can't believe it looks like an actual gumball machine. Like balls in this little globe, it just looks so good. Wow, I'm so happy with it. Last but not least, we have a beautiful design by Maxwell. I love cherry blossoms. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm really liking pink again recently. So I just thought that this one would be such a beautiful design, especially like a whole hand of this design. And even if there wasn't an aquarium aspect to this nail, I think it would still be beautiful. Starting with a pre-done tip. And I'm gonna just fill this right off the bat. That way it can help me with the rest of the design because there was no clarification in this one, which is totally fine. I like to be able to guess and, you know, go my own way sometimes. So the first thing I'm actually going to put in is some glitter, and this glitter is actually from my McCart collab back in the day. And in this glitter mix are some cherry blossom leaves. So I need to get those out and honestly like clean them off because I don't want all these like micro glitters in there. There we go. We'll just throw a little bit of alcohol in there. That way we can get these out almost cleaned off. And I'll put a little bit of oil now so things don't stick to the bottom. For the little glitter, again, I'm going to use this clear Galaxy Hollow, but a very small amount, okay? Like this is all I'm going to put. You got to be careful with these little glitters though. These are so tiny and like skinny. I bet you I've breathed in a couple. Kidding. Except not. And here goes a couple of these cherry blossom glitters. I really am going to keep it minimal on this one. I won't fill it until it can't do anything. And this is actually going to be the only nail so far that I'm not going to be sculpting anything on, because I have all of these perfect little flowers for this. So I'm going to just pull one or two out and see if they would be good inside of this. I feel like they are small enough. Like, that is pretty tiny. I think I'm just gonna put two on the inside, and first I'm gonna put the little like center pieces in, and I'm gonna use gold since we're gonna be putting the gold caviar beads on the front as well. It'll be like that. Oh, there we go. Perfect. And I'll just put a tiny little glob of gel to make sure it sticks on each one. Ooh, look, they light up. And we'll put these two inside. All right, let's fill it. And now we seal it up. Okay, is it sealed? Uh-oh. Okay, I don't think it's entirely sealed. I think there's some coming off this back part. Okay, well, you know, I feel like the leakage today has been minimal for all of these nails. For a long time, I could not do even a single nail without it leaking. So just a small leak right here is not a huge deal. We will fix it. It is definitely sealed now, but one of the flowers is stuck at the top. It wasn't. Okay, well, hopefully while I'm filing, it'll come undone. I would be so sad if that one got stuck at the top. I just got it to be unlodged. See that? See, look, it's falling. Oh, you can't really see. So I think that for the design, I'm gonna use pretty much all of these for the flowers on top. I'm not going to paint any, but I will paint the branches. It's kind of hard to decide what to start with. I think we should just put on a base coat and see where that takes us, see how it looks. It's like kind of hard to tell what direction I want to go. I know that they have kind of like the whole nail pink tinted. I'm not sure if we're gonna do that. I might put something on the back color-wise, but we'll have to see. For the branches, I have Triple Fudge from Nails by Dev, the liners. Again, so happy I have all of these nude ones now. They've been so helpful. Although looking at this now, I think this might be a little bit too cool toned. Like, it's a little bit purple, just a little bit. So I'm gonna go grab just a little bit of a lighter one. All right, we'll be using caramel instead. All right, so I'm gonna kind of do this one branch and like flowers at a time. That way I don't do anything too close together. I wish they had separated these by size instead of by like whatever center ball they put in. There's like a clear, a silver, and a gold, but would have been more useful is if they put like small, medium, and large flowers. And now on goes the flowers. And I'm gonna use both the pink and the white ones. Cute. Well, super glad I decided to do it like this because I absolutely would have overcrowded this if I had just drawn all of the branches first. And now that we have all of those on, we need to fill every single one with a little gold bead. So I'm just gonna do this all at once and just put all of my glue here. Now for the bottom, because we obviously can't just have it looking like this. I'm going to ombre up some gel. I'm not going to use the marble base for this because this is a less opaque gel, so I don't think we'll need the help with it. But essentially we are kind of doing the same like ombre thing that we did for the Sailor Moon nail. Then I think we should only need a second coat. The divide between where the tank is and like the bottom part of the nail are not nearly as dramatic looking as the ones that I made are. It is so pretty. I love this. I feel like the gradient went perfectly too. Now, I'm gonna put a top coat on, but really what I want to get into is what big heartstone. So I have something like that, like kind of simple, but I also have ones like these or these, which are more of like an iridescent. And they do have like those little gold beads, so I feel like this would go with it, but this also looks, I guess, more like what they have, but I don't know. I also have ones that aren't necessarily like a rhinestone, like this one and that one. These are more just like charms. I do also have this one, which could go really well because it's like a white pink. Got these hearts. Again, kind of more of like a charm. Those ones. These like clearish blue ones. I don't know if those ones would go very well though. Or, okay, I just found these ones, just regular iridescent ones, and just regular pink ones. So I think since I found the pink ones, we're gonna go up against those because I feel like those would probably go almost best, but I think it's between these. Let's test and see what will look best. Okay, option number 1. That does look quite large. It's cute, but it is very big. But we do have a lot of space to fill up at the same time. Option 2, be like that, and then also the little gold beads. I think I'm actually gonna go with this one. I like the gold. I feel like the gold ties everything in. But I'm gonna put a top coat on before we do the gems, just because that covers a lot of surface area and getting around that is not gonna be fun. And now for the charm. We're almost done. Let's get some of those gold beads down there. I'm so glad I went with the big charm. Look at how pretty that is. I think that's good aside from putting a top coat on the back just so it's a little bit clearer because, you know, all this gunk. And I'm just gonna hold it so I don't get any more of the stuff I use on the stands, on the nail. This nail is so beautiful. I love the design. It's kind of hard to see the aquarium aspect from the front, but you can definitely see from the back. Got those big pieces floating, got some glitter. This is so cute. This definitely turned out better than I expected, which I can't say happens for that many nails. Once again, thank you guys so much for submitting designs. I truly appreciate it. I can't do these types of videos without you guys. I don't think that I'm going to do a Christmas one this year, but we may end up doing like a winter themed one or something like that. Something I can do in January, I don't know. Or if, again, one of you has an idea for like a theme or style or something like that, maybe we can do that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a like if you want me to do another aquarium dedicated draw my nails. This was super fun and I absolutely love how the designs came out. And I'm really proud of myself that there wasn't a ton of troubleshooting with the aquarium part on most of these nails. So I feel like I'm making a lot of progress like that and able to actually execute the aquarium designs you guys submit a little bit better. So, you know, let me know if you want me to do this again. But thank you guys so much for watching and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!